Hi, welcome to this YouTrain introductory video. My name is Markus Fretscher, and in this video we will explore some basic and hopefully useful considerations for trainers and people who want to work with methods from non-formal education. In this video we will put the focus on three aspects. First one is gonna be how to choose methods for a learning activity. Second one is gonna be how to create and hold space for participants. The third aspect is gonna be how to develop further as a trainer. So first, some considerations on how to choose methods and design a learning activity. It is crucial to get clarity and agree on a couple of key aspects, such as what is the aim of the learning activity? So what is the impact that should be reached? What are the competences that should be built up in participants? What should change with participants afterwards? Who are the participants? What is their background, their need, their motivation, their condition? Who is in your team? What are their preferences, background, competences, etc.? You yourself, of course, what are your preferences, competences, need, motivation, and the context and reality of the learning activity. For instance, if there is an embedding institution, do they have any preferences in their working culture? What is the reality on the spot? What resources do you have? What materials do you have? Are there other learning activities before, after, or parallelly? Having clarity on these aspects, you can then break down the learning activity into objectives, main elements, blocks, and choose methods accordingly that fulfill the constraints and are in line with the aspects we just mentioned. And then there are further important considerations that are now more related to the flow you create, to the sequence of methods, to the experience you create through time for the participants. So this is related, for instance, to the dynamics, to the level of challenge and how the challenge raises and diminishes it again, to the energy that is needed or given, so the dynamics and level of energy, but also having in mind always the experiential learning cycle, so making sure that active experience is complemented by theory, reflection, and drawing consequences, and also trying to see that there is variation of methods and variation of group sizes and type of interaction between the people. A useful tool to check if the agenda you designed, the learning activity, the flow, makes sense and works is to actually live through it yourself, to make a simulation in yourself. You enter the shoes of the participants, you think you're a participant, and you ask yourself, how do I feel at each stage of the learning activity that I designed? Does it make sense? Am I learning something? Am I getting energetic? Is it exhausting? Etc., etc. And of course, it's always a good idea to consult what you designed with a colleague or even with the target group, with your participants. Once a learning activity is designed, it's time to be implemented, which means that you as a trainer have to create and hold the space for participants. And when we say space, we do not only mean the physical space, but also the emotional, spiritual, intellectual, maybe even digital and online space, as all these are areas where learning and interaction between participants can happen and where you can support and empower them. Holding the space means that you create and take care of the frame within which all the interaction and processes of the participants take place. So you're in charge of process, but also of the elements there and of the activities offered that are later filled by life with the participants. When you create and hold a space for participants, I believe it is important to be clear and intentional about the type of space that you offer and create. So how does it feel for a participant to be there, to experience this? So, for example, how much does it incentivize creativity and failing forward versus delivery of results? What is the pace and dynamics? How challenging is it, or how relaxing is it? Is it active or reflective? Is it playful or serious? Is it open or is it rather tightly structured? Are there elements of surprise? Is it close to nature? Is it digitally embedded? How inspirational is it? Etc. In any case, it is important that you assume responsibility for the space you create and hold, that you ensure the safety and well-being of participants, that you empower them in their active learning process, that you support them, that you support the process in general and even steer where necessary, and find a good balance between going for what you planned and reacting to what emerges on the spot. The last section of this video is some ideas how to develop further as a trainer. First of all, I believe it's important to regularly assess yourself, Ask others for external feedback, reviews, opinion on your competences and behavior, and make sure you ask different kinds of people, participants, colleagues, contractors, to get a comprehensive view and discover your blind spot. And based on this, make a development plan, where you want to develop further, what you want to focus on, and follow up upon this plan. Make it a habit, make it a professional habit to give and receive feedback, assess yourself, and have a development plan. Another recommendation we would have is that you try to have a growing and comprehensive portfolio of different methods that you can apply in different areas so that you're prepared for any type of situations. Like you have a little Swiss Army knife with which you're just equipped for whatever comes. For example, make sure you know some digital tools you can use, some outdoor methods, some energizers, some simulation games and role plays, some methods focusing on creativity, some methods involving theater and improv, a set of diverse methods for group work and debates, and have some tips and tricks ready for creating and using appealing learning aids like flip charts and handouts. Talking about portfolios, another thing that can be useful when developing as a trainer is to make sure to have a well-structured collection of manuals, video tutorials, links, useful resources. And finally, what you of course also need to develop further as a trainer is practice and learning opportunities. So try to get hold of diverse opportunities to work as a trainer, practice, develop new concepts. When you're a beginner trainer, try to work with more experienced colleagues who can give you some mentorship and some coaching. Also, supervision is good for the professional development. Maybe create or co-create your own events also. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Challenge yourself, experiment. Also, simply participate in events. Attend a training of trainers, learn from that, or participate in other events and see how are the agendas designed, how are they implemented, how do other people facilitate, train, etc. Also, try to work with different kinds of people. The choice of colleagues can be a great source of inspiration and learning. Also, as trainers, we are lifelong learners. So I think it's important to be aware of one's own learning preferences and to stay curious, to keep surrounding oneself with opportunities, challenges, and inspiration. Talking about inspiration, I hope you got some from watching this video. Got a couple of useful ideas for your further development as a trainer, so thanks for watching, good luck, and check out our other introductory videos.
YouTrain is co-funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. For more videos on non-formal education, please check out our channel and subscribe.